Good. All right, go ahead with questions for Coach.
Yeah, Coach, just second year for him, but how impressive is Avieon Terrell on the outside?
He's everything you expect. Like I said, we've been recruiting him since he was 9 years old, so we've been able to see the evolution of his game, and so I'm excited. Like I said, you've seen him, transform over the years from that little kid. And I still have a picture of him when he was here, when he was 9 years old in our youth camp, participating. So it's good to see him, come to fruition.
Him and Shelton kind of talks about the friendship they have off the field. How important do you think that is to kind of have that relationship on the field?
I mean, it's great because now you got a guy that's got your back, and he's fighting for the same thing you're fighting for, and when you have that type of synergy, hopefully, it equals success.
It's been a frustrating couple years for Jeadyn Lukus. How's he kind of, finding his way back into a role?
With Jaedyn, it's just been, his health. It's been those little nagging injuries, and it's, right now he's healthy, so I'm looking forward to seeing the old J. Lou. I mean, I haven't seen him made a true play since the ACC championship game when he showed the world, while we recruited him. So, I'm looking forward to seeing him.
He's healthy and will be back. He'll be practicing this summer.
Yes, sir. He's back now. He's doing everything, everything that's been asked of him. So I'm looking forward to it.
How's his rehab man coming from the hip surgery?
I mean, from everything what everybody's telling me, he looks good. So I'm looking forward to putting my eyes on him. Right now, we haven't been able, as far as coaches that have not been able to do anything per se with the players yet. So, it's one of those kind of things that Santa Claus has come, and I'm going to hurry up and get down the steps to see what left me.
There's no replacing Nate, obviously, but the cornerback group had the lone tiger go in the first round. With the cornerback group, is that something that they've taken upon themselves to kind of compound on and just raise the bar of that section of the DBs?
Well, when you talk about the history and the legacy of defensive backs here, it's like one person leaves, the next one steps up. It's an opportunity for somebody else, and it's one of those things. I don't recruit a kid to come to Clemson and sit on the bench. I recruit kids because I want to see them play. And so it's going to be interesting to see who's that guy that's going to be stepped up. I mean, I got an inclination which guy it is, but my inclination never worked. It's always somebody else. So I'm anxious to see some guys go out there and compete and win an opportunity to play on Saturdays.
As far as leadership, who have you seen step up, and who do you want to see step up this fall?
Well, Shelton Lewis is a guy, that's he's a natural born leader. He came in day one and he was telling guys what to do. Aveion is a leader, and then Jeadyn Lukus is starting to mature and become that leader that you want young men to be. Not everybody can be that vocal guy, but some guys, through attrition, learn to be leaders just by doing things the right way and being accountable and being consistent.
What does Aveion have to do to take that next step?
I mean, he should just continue to hone in on his craft, and that's something that he does daily. Watching film, asking questions. He's one of those kind of guys that you got to pull the reins back on because he'll overtrain too. And that's what you see in a lot of these young athletes nowadays is guys that are overtraining, and it causes a lot of soft tissue injuries. So just making sure that he's taking care of his body as well as doing his training.
Trio of Barnes, Terrell, Lewis, none of them were giant recruits coming out of high school, but then they all found their way onto the field last year as freshmen. Were you surprised at all by the impact they were able to have early on?
No. I mean, like I said, for some of these kids, we've watched them grow, and, it's one of those things that you see it in them. These are guys that are hungry. And a lot of times people equate success with just stars, but I equate success with guys that are willing to go out and work. And these are young men that are going to put on their hard hat and they're going to go to work every day. And when you got that type of work ethic, you're going to have some type of success.
How crucial was the extra reps for Tavoy during the spring with Wiggins out having those extra reps power his lungs, but the quarterback would be in?
Well, I think it helped him from a transition from going from high school to college, because a lot of these kids, they don't know what they don't know. So for him to come in early and participate, one, it was a way for him to learn the playbook. Two is, now to see the different skill set, because a lot of these kids don't face those type of receivers week in and week out in high school. You may go 1 week and you may be playing against little boy Blue over here and he can't get off the line of scrimmage. And then the next week you play against you know, somebody who's considered a 5-star. Well, every day you're gonna get challenged on that practice field. You know, and I told Qualk over here at the Roar, you know, we got some guys in that receiver room that, you know, are really going to surprise some people.
From a special teams perspective, now that Shipley's out of the frame, who or what are you looking at to create that nervous energy for the opposite, for opposing teams to go, okay, that guy can be dangerous back there?
Well, we've got a stable of guys, you know, that have been proven. You know, but it's just now, you know, with Shipley gone, now it's like who's going to step up, who's going to take the bull by the horns and go run with it. You know, so I mean, I'm excited because we got some guys that really can go get it, that, you know, can turn the burners on. So it's going to be exciting.
And then I know, I believe they're not doing it in college, just the pros. But are you giving any attention to how in the NFL, just them changing kickoff, how that looks at all? Are you giving any attention to that?
I haven't yet. You know, it's you know, the game is forever changing. You know, and it's you know, for me, I hate it a little bit. Some of it I like because of the safety part of it, but some I don't because it's taken away from the true essence of the game of football and what people are paying to see. You know, they want to be entertained. You know, so I'm all about, you know, some old school football.
What would you say is your greatest takeaway from last season that you want to bring into this season?
Is resilience. You know, we fought week in and week out. You know, it's one of those things where people are not scared of Clemson anymore. It's like that old Rocky thing when our Rocky hits Drago in the face and he cuts him. And they're talking about, oh, he's human. You know, we're human. You know what I mean? And so now it's you know, we got to get back on that horse, and we got to make people understand that this is Clemson and we mean business.
To compound on that, Clemson still being a very prominent team nationally and well ranked, but under the radar a little bit, is that kind of a place that you guys as a team relish right now, to kind of be a little bit under the radar but still very prominent? How's that space?
Man, well, for me, and I think my players take on sometimes the attitude of me, I don't really care. I just want to go play. You know what I mean? Like I said, we're not promised tomorrow. You know, so every day we get up, we got to count our blessings, and we got to make sure, hey, we can take advantage of every opportunity we have, and we work hard. You know, nobody's going to give us anything. We got to go out and take it.
What is the status of someone like Jeadyn Lukus? What are you looking forward to seeing him play these older people?
Oh, Jeadyn Lukus is ready to go. I mean, and what I expect from him is I want to see that guy that I saw when he's coming out of high school. I want to see the guy that's making plays. I want to see that guy that's in your face. I want to see that guy that's being physical day in and day out. You know, he has a wealth of talent. You know, and it's my job that I got to get it. You know, and there's glimpses of it. You know, he just hasn't been healthy. And right now he's in a position where he's healthy. You know, he's running and he's moving a lot better. So I'm looking forward to it.
You mentioned Clemson will have some receivers that will break out and stand out this year. DB cornerback, I guess. Who are some of those guys that you've seen in practice that are standing out?
As far as the receivers?
Receivers, yeah.
I mean, you take Wesco, you get Tyler Brown, Antonio Williams, you know, and I've seen TJ Moore play in high school, and you know, from my perspective, I mean, those guys are dynamic, and so you know, I'm looking forward to the matchups out there on the practice field.
Has it been one side, or has it been one side going into each side? How has those battles been?
I mean, it's one of those days where you know one guy has a good day, one guy has a bad day. You know, and at the end of the practice or he's at training camp, you've won more battles than you've lost. You know, and so like I said, iron sharpens iron. So they're making us better.
Terrell and Shelton, Aveion and Shelton Lewis kind of got more runs towards the end of the season, I guess. Was there a moment last season where you was like, okay, we could rely on these guys to play for us, start for us, day in, day out?
Well, you know, it's one of those kind of things where we're trying to search for some cohesiveness, some synergy, and it's like, you know what? Hey, this guy deserves his opportunity. Let's give him a shot. You know, like I said, you know, we're in a position where, you know, no position is etched in stone. And sometimes guys get, you know, they start resting on their laurels and things of that nature. So I gotta spark a fire in that room. And so I gotta go with the young boys and see what they can do. Because hey, if the older guys are not getting it done, I need to go, you know, find out what these young guys can do. Because hey, like I said, I recruited them to play. So hey, I may not be around long. I gotta see these guys play. So you know, for them, they got an opportunity and ran with it, and they were successful.
There were some guys throughout the spring as well as coming into the summer and fall camp that you've seen like have like a huge jump, like a
I wouldn't say I've had huge jumps, because I don't like huge jumps. I like those incremental steps. You know what I mean? Because I don't want a guy to get to reach that success and then doesn't realize the journey and the process it took to get there. So I'm all about the small steps. And at the end of the day, hopefully them small steps end up to W's on Saturday.
What have you seen in Jeadyn Lukus? He came here as a highly talented recruit from the upstate, battled some injuries, battled some adversity, but we've seen some flashes of him doing some things. What are his expectations coming into this?
My expectations are, hey, he's got to go. He's been here. He's the oldest guy in the room actually, and like I said, I want to see those plays, and I want to see that playmaking ability. I want to see that physical kid, that I recruited, and so I'm looking forward to him.
You feel like it's in there? I mean,
it's there.
You know it's in there.
It's there.
What do you think you learned from the adversity that he had to go through last year, sitting and watching?
Well,
healthy and play through it?
As a competitor, it stinks because you're sitting on the sideline. You want to play too. It's like, as a little kid and, all the big kids are playing basketball and you're the little guy and you're sitting on the sideline. You're like, I want to play too, and so, it's time for him. It's time for him.
What are those three newcomers, Tavoy, Ashton, and Corian bring?
Well, I can tell you right now, that Corian Gipson, you thought Nate Wiggins was fast. Wait till you see that joker run. I mean, if you ask me, he's the one guy I can't wait to see. Because he came here and he had a knee injury, and I saw him in high school, and the first thing I saw was flash. And he's a kid that can go from 0 to 500 very quick, and so. I'm interested in seeing him. Tavoy, like I said, Tavoy is a guy who came in early, and so it was one of those type of things that his body is transforming. He's not the little guy on the block anymore. And then Ashton Hampton, I mean, you look at him. He's 6'3", he can run, he's physical. I mean, I like what I got in those three right there. I mean, you're talking about the future of Clemson defensive backs. I mean, we're going to get after some guys.
How's the motivation for game one? You look on the schedule, you see a team like Georgia. As you go through camp, how many times do you bring up Georgia? I mean, the guys are aware of it, but making sure you're ready for the first game of the season. It's not a layup. No, exactly. I mean, heck, last year wasn't a layup. We got our asses kicked. And for me, motivation is, hey, we got to go perform every day. I mean, yeah, we play against Georgia, but I don't give a damn rat's ass who we play. We got to go get it, We got to go get it. And so for me, it's just, hey, we got to come together as a team, and we got to go out and we got to produce every day.
How critical is the cornerback will be able to have a potential chance of a 16, 17-game season with the expanded playoff format? How critical is having trusting those young guys to their numbers called, they have to step in and make a play during the season? You got to have depth, and as you say, it's to the point now we're almost like an NFL season. And so we've got to have those guys because, guys are going to get injured, guys are going to get dinged up. Nobody week 12 is going to feel like they're at week 1 anymore. So you're going to have quality, you're going to have to have guys that are going to be able to step in, take some quality reps and perform.
Kind of along those same lines, you've only got 2 true upperclassmen in your room. How do you spread the reps out, make sure those guys are getting enough practice knowing what moves ahead of week 1? Well,
the thing is about it, you got to just make sure that they don't overwork. That they get their quality work in, and then you got to get those younger guys in so that they can get acclimated to the speed, the playbook, and things of that nature. Because I got to make sure very early, I got to find out which one of those younger guys are going to be able to be that guy, And so I got to find out early. So sometimes I may have to take some reps away from an older guy, give them something to the younger guy, just so that I know that they're ready, they're game ready.
I know you look at film all the time, obviously for preparation. Is there any film preparation from the game 2 years ago in Charlotte that you're using with these guys to kind of pick and choose what to look for?
I mean, when you have a summer break and your first game is Georgia, so you have a lot of time to look at a lot of film. So you're going to take some things that from different games and things and utilize them because you have to, because you don't know what you're getting, Like they're a new team, they're going to bring out some new players too, some guys that we've never seen before. So we've got to make sure that we do our due diligence and look at everything.
You kind of mentioned Corian Gipson, but Is sitting here in July, is there a guy that maybe 7 or 8 games in that Clemson fans and nation's going to look up and be like, holy cow, where did he come from?
I don't know. I hope you would say that about all of them. It's one of those kind of things where you don't know what you don't know because you haven't seen them perform on game, you know. And so for me, like I said, this summer, I haven't had really an opportunity to get my hands on them and work with them. So I'm looking forward to opening a training camp so I can actually see like, ooh, okay, you know. So I don't want to, you know, give a certain guy and say that he's going to be that guy because, like, I hope all of them are, you know. And who would have known it would have been AV last year or Shelton, you know. So I try to hold that until I truly get my eyes on it.
How much confidence did Shelton get after his late season performance?
A lot. I mean, to be thrown in there, to go from a guy that's getting maybe 5 to 10 reps a game to being a starter. I mean, and you could see it, you know, where he started getting more confident as he kept playing, you know. And so I'm looking forward to seeing him produce, you know, from what he did last year to this year.
Obviously, because of Avion's name and his brother and everything, people expected a lot of him coming in. Were you surprised at how quickly he called on and contributed?
No, not really, because he does have an older brother that, you know, with mentoring, you know, telling him about certain things. So he kind of had a jump start on a lot of people from that aspect. So it wasn't surprising. I mean, just to see that kid's work ethic when he was a young kid, you know, he was trying to outperform his brother, making sure that people didn't, you know, say, oh, that's AJ's little brother. You know, he was a guy that went and earned it. You know, he's like, say, well, you see that kid work, you can understand like why he's so successful at an early age.
Coach, we have the shoot around on the basketball court coming up as part of the tour that we get to see. Who on the coaching staff do you think is the biggest threat on the basketball court?
DeAndre McDaniel. Coach Sweeney's a pure shooter, but I say DeAndre McDaniel.
Do you guys get out there much to play, or? Man,
I'm 52 years old. I ain't getting out there no more. But they do. There's some quality noontime basketball that goes on out there. You know, I refrain from it.
What activities do you guys, you know, on the more seasoned coaching staff? What do you?
I mean,
ball or the mini golf?
Some guys go and they go to the 100 yards of wellness, like me. All right, you got guys that go play pickleball. Some guys that go play basketball, and you got guys that work out. You know, so you got a wide array of things that the coaches do.
And what is it like for you guys as a coaching staff to have those activities that you can bond over?
I mean, some of us take advantage of it, some of us don't. You know, it's nice to have it, you know, because there, you know, like I said, you know, there's a lot of places that don't have this, and so you appreciate what you have because you go to other places and you see what they're working with, and you're like, whoa, okay, you know, so. Great place, man. That's why I've been here 12 years.
Speaking of how long you've been here, what keeps you here? I'm sure you've got calls from other places before since you got here.
Great people, man. I mean, and I must be doing my job right too. You know, because if it was bad people, I don't think that would make me stay here. You know, and then I love my kids. You know, the guys that I've had an opportunity to coach. I mean, they've been a blessing. You know, heck, I just went to one of my players' wedding. Robert Smith got married recently, so to see him go from that 18, 19-year-old teenager to a married man, I mean, that's what you're in your business for.
Along those lines, I think I saw reported that you spoke with Boston College about their head coaching gig. Anything you can say about that, or I guess the fact that you're still here now? So
yeah,
is it something you looked into? Or?
It was, you know, it was something that was posed to me, and you know, it was a great opportunity to be able to interview at my old alma mater. But at the end of the day, hey, they went to the right, I went to the left, and let's go.
Anyone else for Coach Reed?
All right, appreciate it. Thank you very much. And just to let you know,